Hey everyone, RemanX here, and I wanted to go ahead and create a document that went over all the information in kind of one spot. And the reason is these sagas are going to be the foundation of how we play these games going forward. Building your team for Apocalypse seems like the most obvious choice for the future, but all of that being said, there are quite a few things that have been disseminated in other channels like the Envoy chats, or maybe edited on some of the blogs. So what I did was I combined all the information and I put it into one source, and I'm going to be keeping this document up to date over time so that it'll have access to it to hopefully understand what's going to happen with the sagas. So all these things will cover, the most frequently asked questions, hence the word FAQ, and more importantly, help you guys understand what's going to be happening here. So what's a saga? Sagas are a brand new game mode that allow you to play through the exciting story of Apocalypse bestowing gifts to each of his four horsemen and completing their ceremonious transformation into his devoted disciples. Please note that details shared here are subject to change prior to release. Now again, this is going to be updated. If there are any changes in here, I'll probably make a little highlight, because again, there have been some changes over time, especially if they're significant. I'll probably put like an asterisk next to it for you. How many sagas will there be? There will be 5 sagas in total that require the horsemen and their respective teams in order to participate, with some additional requirements for the final saga. When do sagas start? The saga expected to be released after the second run of each horseman's Scourge event. And how long is a saga available? Unlike Scourge events, which run for a limited time, sagas will be permanent additions to the new Epic Campaign section coming up in version 6.3, where Dark Dimension will be accessible going forward. So again, just to recall this, it'll be available in a new section with the pictures here. We've seen them in the blog. So we'll see this. This has just been updated here. What characters are required for the sagas? Pestilence Saga, Morgan Le Fay, and 4 Darkhold characters are Agatha Harkness, Wong, Doctor Strange, Heartless, and Scarlet Witch. Rogue and 4 Unlimited X-Men characters, Gambit, Phantom X, Sunfire, and Dazzler. War Horseman, Red Hulk, and you know what? We'll go ahead and edit this. And for Gamma, there you go. Now that is updated, and the Death Saga to be determined, and other characters that'll be announced there. In Apocalypse Saga, all 4 horsemen, their respective teams, and several additional characters. Now, those are highly speculative, and what we're trying to do is take speculation out of this and give you the best information and let you decide this. Now, this is going to be where some of this is updated and a little bit different from the raids here. You're going to see this different here. Are there gear and ISO requirements? There are multiple difficulties. Each saga expected to have 5 nodes each, and there is no persistent damage between battles. There'll be 3 levels of difficulty and requirements for each saga. For the 4 Horsemen saga specifically, these are the gear tier requirements: 13, 15 for 1 and 2, and 17 for gear tier 3. Additionally, to enter the final Apocalypse Saga, you must have completed all the 4 Horsemen sagas, the difficulty 1. To participate in you must complete all 4 of the sagas on difficulty 2, and to participate in Apocalypse Saga on difficulty 3, you must first complete all the 4 Horsemen sagas on difficulty 3. And then right here, you'll see to first unlock Apocalypse, you must complete difficulty 2, and to unlock the rest of the yellow stars and red stars, you must complete difficulty 3. Required to participate, difficulty 2. Gear, tier 16, ISO blue level 4, unlock Apocalypse at 5 stars, 2 red stars. Difficulty 3, gear tier 17, ISO blue level 5, promote Apocalypse to 7 yellow, 4 stars. So this is stuff that's been reiterated in the blog. So this was edited in the blogs that we had. So I made sure it's in your hands. Are there rewards like Dark Dimension? This is something that's important. I think it's lost in the entire events here. The gifts of Insaba Nur, aka Apocalypse, are fit for a pharaoh. Some of the rewards available in the various difficulties include orange gear, okay, gold, armory 16 orb fragments, and ISO blue materials. Now this is another part that's been updated. For ISO, in this case Morgan's, fully fused blue quality 5 controller crystals for each stat. Assuming you've upgraded Morgan's matrix from green to blue, you can just equip these to Morgan or another controller immediately, and any blue crystals that you were equipped will be available for other characters, aka refunded. Enough tier 2 level 4 and tier 2 level 5 ions to buy Morgan or another controller from 3, 4, and 5, assuming their crystals are already quality 5. So basically, if you have the crystals, enough tier 2 level 1 ions, tier 2 level 4 ions, tier 2 level 5 ions to fuse Q5 crystals quality 5, and buy every class level in blue for another character. Now remember, the character needs an upgraded ISO 8 matrix, and the player needs to have all 81 blue crystals for each slot. Controller in this case means whatever role featured horseman. So Rogue Saga will drop fully fused blue protector crystals. Additionally, there are 2 types of rewards. All right, so let's go back up here. So this is a little bit clunky, but this is the actual information as disseminated to us. Basically, you're gonna get enough ISO to, let's say you have blue ISO 3, you'll be able to equip the blue ISO 5 crystal onto Morgan Le Fay, and you'll get the blue ISO 3 returned to you, and you'll be able to take the matrix from 3 to 4 and 5. And that's the question that happens a lot of times with these high quality characters. And you'll be able to also take up another controller character, aka Agatha, etc., to be able to take them to ISO 5 as well when you complete the event, but specifically controller alone. All right. So the additional rewards, there are 2 rewards that will be exclusive for each type of Saga, and a 3rd reward, blue ISO above, see above, that's very rare. They are awakened abilities and horseman costumes. Awakened abilities, Apocalypse will bestow the gifts upon each horseman, granting them even greater power and unlocking new synergies with their fellow horsemen, even Apocalypse himself. Awakened abilities are augmentations to one or more of the character's existing 4 abilities. Similar to normal abilities, awakened abilities also require materials to unlock and upgrade them, but will only be used for that specific character and ability. You earn these awakened abilities materials to progress through a character saga. For example, the Pestilence Saga will be the only place you can earn the materials for Pestilence Horseman Morgan Le Fay. Completing difficulty 1 and 2 will allow you to fully upgrade both of Morgan Le Fay's abilities. So that was also confirmed via the Envoy chat, so it's in here now. So the question is, if you want to be able to use, let's say, Rogue right away in your arena meta, you want to get into the into hers as soon as possible. So as far as like my planning goes, based on this, I want to kind of see the impact that it will have, if it's worth rushing to try to complete that saga, and see if maybe there is a how much gear you get out of the sagas, because it might be I don't want to say net positive, because you probably will, equipping Scarlet Witch to 15 is probably going to feel bad until we see how much we get back from the orange gear inside of the saga, and it may wind up making up for that specific loss. So maybe like a net positive gain, at least with that one character. We'll have to see. All right, so completing difficulty 1 and 2 allow you to buy fully upgraded, and as previews, the control gaze. So these are actually there, and again, this is why it's important. Apply speed up for 2 turns and immunity for 1 turn itself, and Apocalypse ally, Aldar Cult allies, and Horseman allies, including Rogue, right? So that's why we're saying this might be useful for using Rogue on arena defense, potentially in other zones as well. And if you guys have tried her on arena, you guys will notice that her health, specifically Rogue's health, is a little bit low and leaves them vulnerable to the Icarus ability early on. So that's why it's so important. You look at the max health. Additional 50% max health takes her into nearly uncharted territories, and then the additional resistance will prevent the application of buffs on her. She has already a higher resistance stat. So this is actually pretty amazing that legendary characters are getting kind of like this ramp up, so that for the effort we're making for these scourges, these characters will become useful on additional teams working together and allow for I think nearly unlimited theory crafting. So kind of excited by this. Hopefully we'll get some more information as time goes on. As we progress through the sagas, we'll probably answer the questions as far as like how much gear is there, etc., etc. But I kind of wanted to put this in one place, share this with your alliance mates, so that hopefully they get a wrap on the saga. And again, I don't think it's any reason to panic. This is the new MSF that we've been talking about, and I think if you answer these questions with confidence, you can make the best decisions for your roster, despite the advice that you're given by any content creator. So hopefully these help you guys with that information in one spot. I'll have this linked on my Discord server, probably in a special section here. Again, If you just save this FAQ right now, it isn't going to do much for you. So stay tuned. Make sure you guys follow the Discord, and I'll see you guys soon. Remember, I do things so you don't have to, and this includes massive prep to get through that saga day 1 to see if it's worthwhile, at least for, you know, difficulty 2, to see the impact that the abilities have, if it's worth you rushing through and trying to make the best out of that. See you again soon.